Hey guys, OgreBarberian here, back for another in-depth look. This time we are going to look at Survival Support Suit Lex Luthor. Survival Support Suit Lex is one of those characters you can obtain very early on. He has quite a few nodes early on in the campaign. And he may seem a little underwhelming, but he's really good when you actually power him up. His speed isn't amazing at a base of 53, but he has this gear set that gives him plus 35, so he does end up with an 88 overall, which isn't terrible. Now, the thing about Lex's speed is also coupled to his Lex Core nanomeds, as you'll see when we get into his skill set here. So, first ability is Hands-Free Security. Damage to an enemy. Purge 2 buffs from the enemy if Lex is above 50% health. This does go up to 3 on the Purge, as long as Lex is above 50% health, and it does gain a pretty significant amount of damage. It doesn't do a ton, but it's respectable. It does decent damage. And then the legendary for this, apply buff immunity if Lex is above 50% health. This is really, really good. As long as Lex is above 50% health, applying buff immunity is insane on a basic attack. It's really powerful. And it purged 3 buffs to begin with, so I mean, it does a lot of work for a basic attack. Like, it does a lot. And this is where I was saying Lex's speed really doesn't matter as much, because his Lex Core nanomeds apply 2 speed ups to all allies, and 2 extra speed ups to Lex. Medium heal all allies if Lex is above 50% health. This does go up to a 3rd speed up to himself, and the heal does gain a little bit of power, but the heal is not huge. It's definitely a smaller heal, but you're really using this for those speed ups, because giving himself 5 speed ups, gives him an extra 40 speed, essentially. So he comes in, closer to the 130 range when he has this going on. So it's definitely worthwhile. And they do last a couple of turns. So it's definitely worthwhile to pick up, level this skill up. The legendary for it is apply 4 speed ups to random allies. I would not recommend this legendary very early, but it is definitely one that you could use if you really wanted to. I wouldn't do it early. It doesn't seem all that great. Alright, and then we have Metahuman Deterrent. This is Lex's special damage and 40% turn meter down to an enemy. And this does go up to 60% down on the enemy, which is a huge chunk of meter. So it does chunk away at that enemy meter and slow somebody way, way down, just for a turn at least. And the animation on it is really cool. It's just a giant laser from the sky, and just it's pretty awesome. The first legendary upgrade for this is to silence the enemy if he's above 50% health. That in and of itself is not amazing, but it's still worthwhile. Silence is a very underrated, very powerful mechanic. Forcing your opponent to only use their basic attack is a pretty good deal. The second legendary upgrade for this is actually to call an assist. So, calling an assist off of the use of this, they're going to lose 60% meter, they're going to get silenced if he's above 50% health, and then somebody else is going to punch them in the face as well. Like, it's just a really strong ability, and it does pretty darn good damage, I must say. Like, you may not necessarily be one-shotting everybody, but it does do a pretty good chunk of damage. I'm not going to lie. And then Lex's leadership ability. I do want to emphasize this. It is a leadership ability, not passive. All allies have a 58, and this does go up to 60%, chance to gain a light heal if buffed. And it doesn't matter where that buff comes from. And then 50% chance to crit on the heal with the legendary power. And it may not seem like a lot to critically heal, but when you go from, something about Lex, his crit modifier is really high. if you notice there. So he actually can crit heal for quite a decent chunk. So being able to crit more often is definitely a worthwhile pickup at some point. So for Lex, I'd probably go 1, 3, 3, 4, and then 2 is probably the order that I would go with. But let's go ahead and look at some teams real quick. So we got Lex as our leader, Hippolyta, Clayface, and Batman, World's Greatest Detective. And the idea here is that everybody buffs the whole team, so there should be some heals flying around. Hippolyta can also apply shields to the team. Batman can apply meter to the team. Clayface can give agility ups and invisibility to the team. Lex can heal the team and give them speed ups, because they're not the fastest characters around, but they're all respectable in their own right. But when they're picking up those speed ups from Lex, they definitely make a lot more impact. And Clayface, of course, is going to be slowing down the enemy team. So I think this team can get a lot of mileage and just be hard to take down. So, and it also has purges, assist calls, out the wazoo. So you're going to be doing, I think you can handle most opponents with this. Definitely a good team. All right, the second one I got for you. We've got Lex, Poison Ivy, Flash, and Wonder Woman. And the reason that I put this team together was because the name of the game is Speed. Lex allows Flash to pick up those extra speed ups to start proccing his passive really quickly. Poison Ivy is there to transfer around hopefully the permanent speed ups from Flash, and then that'll go on to Wonder Woman as a permanent buff, and then Wonder Woman can use her basic attack and transfer them to everybody again. And every time that they're doing this, they're bouncing around all these speed buffs, and they're all getting healed from it, and then Flash's passive is proccing constantly, and then Wonder Woman taunts to protect the team. Poison Ivy can put a taunt to protect the team. Like, it does a lot here, I think. So it's definitely a more fun team, and definitely one that I would probably recommend for hero challenges. It seems like it would do quite a bit there, because it has a lot of purging and a lot of just really insane speed shenanigans. And the last one I got for you is the Team Never Die. We got Assault Warsuit Lex as our leader this time, with Lex Luthor, Survival Support Suit, Dr. Fate, and Penguin. And Penguin will provide some shields with some affinity resistance. Dr. Fate will provide some shields with intelligence ups. And then Survival Support Suit Lex will provide speed ups and a heal underneath all that shielding. And then Lex Luthor, Assault Warsuit as the leader, will apply shields and affinity ups whenever he's buffed. Well, all three of those guys have a team-wide buff that is actually on a fairly low cooldown aside from Dr. Fate. And then, of course, the speed from Survival Suit Lex will help get everybody to their turns quicker. And they also have purging and buff stealing, and just they seem like an all-around very hard team to kill overall. So, and that's about all I got for you today. As always, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Enjoy, and grind on.